Hey guys, Papa Pete here today, and I am being joined by
the Intellivision Gamer. Hello, everyone.
Right on, Casey Nydahl. We've been asked by Rev to do a special video today to announce all of his releases for PRGE 2023. He is going to have an amazing number of games. He had 7 last year, which was a record at the time. The most games ever released at one event in 2022 at PRGE, and he's topping it today. How many has he got there, Casey?
I think we've got 10, Pete.
We've got 10 different games to show you today. They're all currently available at PRGE, and they're going to be available afterwards in the Intellivision Revolution store at varying times over the coming months. So, man, I'm pretty excited about all these releases. What do you think, man?
I'm always excited for a new Intellivision release, but to get this many at once, I just can't wait to get up there and get my hands on them.
Some of these games are ones that we've been looking forward to for quite a while. Some of them are old classics. Some of them are arcade releases. And there's some from some of the most well-known programmers in the Intellivision homebrew community today. So without any further ado, why don't we just get into the games? Casey, what do you have for your first game to tell us about?
All right, guys, first up, we have a game that I've already played and I love it. It is Space Versus. It is for 1 or 2 player games, and it is a combat style. You got one person on top, one person on bottom. You got a computer-controlled guy in the middle, and he shoots at both of you guys. And you just move back and forth trying to shoot each other. I have played this one with Intellivision Dude and my wife. Everyone loves it. I really recommend getting this one.
So the first game I have to tell you about is called, surprising enough, it must be for me, right? Peter the P. And if that sounds familiar, it was actually released in 2022, but it was released in a manual and cartridge format only. And this year it's getting the full meal deal, physical release, box, cart, manual, overlays from Intellivision Revolution, game by Chris Reed. And I won't call it a Pac-Man style game, but it is a maze game that's a lot of fun, various levels, work your way through the farm, it's keeping away from the carrots, and I know that you keep going through and you even go out into outer space. So it's really interesting game, and you can get it for the very first time, absolutely complete, right at PRGE from Intellivision Revolution.
All right, guys, next up we have Boing, Brian Puddin of Brian's Man Cave. It is a 1-player game, and it kind of reminds me of Cubert and a little bit of Frostbite on the 2600, and it is great to see Brian following up on last year's game with another great release.
Speaking of Brian Puddin, the next game we have is another Brian Puddin release. He's been really hot since releasing those games last year, so it's great to see them all coming out, like you said, Casey. But this one is Rags to Riches. I know it's a game that he's been working on for quite a while, because when he was on my channel back when he released Keystone Cops, he was talking about this as being a game that he was working on. It's a game where it's an old computer game from back in the day. I don't remember exactly from where, but it was basically you're a hobo walking through the streets trying to collect money and build yourself up from being poverty-stricken on the street to being a wealthy man. So it's a really interesting concept, and I'm really anxious to see how this game pans out.
Next up, we have Triple Challenge 2, a tribute to the original 125 game Triple Challenge. It is a 3-game collection. First up, we have Hunt the Wumpus, which is a 1-player text-adventure game with some graphics by Michael Hayes. And then next up, we have game 2 of that collection, which is Squiddy. It is a 1-player game by Dave Akers, an original Blue Sky Ranger. And this one is quite fun and unique. And then the third game and the final game in the collection is Robot Finds Kitten by Zendocon. It is a 1-player game. It is quite unique. You just need to see it.
Well, I have seen it, Casey, and I agree with you 100%. It's something that everybody just should try out and see for themselves. Robot Finds Kitten is very interesting. But the third game that I have to tell you about is also very interesting, because it's an unusual game. You don't see too many of these in the Intellivision homebrew community, because it's not only an ECS game, but it's for the musical keyboard. It's for the keyboard component, not the keyboard component, but for the keyboard. You know, it is Michael Hayes's Melody Blaster 2. Absolutely amazing, the work that he put into this. It's been around for a while on his website, but now it's going to be available in a full physical package from Intellivision Revolution. And if you have the keyboard and you've been looking for some more games for that, well, just put some great music in, some game music that you might have heard of before, like the Peanuts theme, or even the music from Bomb Squad. It's absolutely amazing. So make sure you check this one out, Melody Blaster 2 by Michael Hayes.
All right, guys, next up we have Zor by Paul Carruthers. It is an original puzzle game 1 player. And if you like dungeon crawlers, it is chock full of mazes where you're collecting masks, and you definitely need to give this one a look.
And the next game I have to show you is again from Brian Puddin of Brian's Man Cave. Lots of games from Brian this year, and that's a wonderful thing. He's been working so hard on these games, and this release is one that looks vaguely familiar to me, but I played it back in the day on different systems, I believe, and that is Traffic Jam. A game where you have a parking lot full of vehicles, and you have to move in just the right method in order to get your vehicle out of the parking lot through the exit. Really interesting, really challenging, and frankly, it would probably be lots of time being frustrated trying to get it worked around just right to get yourself out of the maze. Anyway, great to see another game. Maybe we'll even see one more from Brian Puddin. Now, I said we come back to Brian Puddin for one more game, and this one really excites me. It's a game that Brian, I didn't even know he was working on it, but I'm so happy that he is. Don't get it confused with the one he released last year at PRGE, which was Fast Food. This one is Food Fight, the all-time Atari classic game where you run through the maze trying to grab the ice cream cone, picking up the peas and the carrots and the watermelon and throw it at the chefs who are trying to get you. And it's just so much fun. I love this game in the arcade back in the day. And Brian has done a great job bringing it over onto the Intellivision system as a homebrew. And I'm really, really thrilled that Rev is bringing a physical copy to all of our collections. And now for the final game that Rev is going to release from Intellivision Revolution, the 2023 PRGE. Or is it the last game? Maybe not. I might tell you a little bit something in a minute. But the last one that we're going to tell you about is a game that Casey and I have both played. Isn't that right, Casey?
Yes, we have, Pete, and I love this new one.
Absolutely. And that is, of course, tell us what it is, Casey.
Pitfall 3.
We've been teased this game for so long from Rev. Rev has had different screenshots and such up, and it's finally ready. Full box, full release. And of course, this game, on the heels of Pitfall 2, the original Pitfall 3 per se was actually hidden levels in Pitfall 2 for the Atari 5200 or the Atari 400, 800 computers. But they've taken these levels in the Intellivision homebrew community and they've created a separate game for them. Pitfall 3, Return to the Caverns, and absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to check out this game. This is going to be a favorite on a lot of people's list. Don't you think so, man?
Definitely.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who want this game. So if you don't get your copy at PRGE, make sure you watch the Intellivision Revolution store to get your copy as soon as possible after the event. Well, Casey, what do you think about the 10 games that Rev is going to have released at PRGE this year? Man, that's pretty impressive, don't you think?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed last year with what he brought us, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on all these games this year.
You know, there may even be some surprises there too. You know, I've sort of mentioned in a few of the little quips in here that maybe these aren't the only 10, but they're the only 10 we're telling you about right now. For those of you at PRGE right now or who were at PRGE, you know what I'm talking about. And for those who aren't, make sure you keep your eye on the Intellivision Revolution store for other games that we haven't even announced in this video, because there are different releases also coming. Did I say it? I did say it. There are other games also coming from Rev and Intellivision Revolution that you won't want to miss. Am I not? Am I right, Casey, or am I right?
You are right, and some of them we don't even know about yet, and I'm really looking forward to getting there and finding out what they are.
Agreed, 100%. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Intellivision Gamer, for being here and helping with this video. Thank you to Rev and all the members of the Intellivision homebrew community who put out these games, the programmers, the overlay creators, the manual creators, the box designers. Such an incredible community, this Intellivision homebrew community, and just, you know, it's a great time to be an Intellivision homebrew collector, huh?
Yeah, it really takes a lot of different people to put all these games out, and man, it is such a great feeling when you see all these games being released for Intellivision, and I really can't wait to get my hands on them, especially some of these new ones that are surprises. Woo!
Right on, guys. We will see you in the next video. You never know. Make sure you watch. There'll be some gameplay videos on probably a lot of these different games from both Casey and myself in the coming weeks. And you never know when you're going to see the two of us pop up together to make another one of these videos announcing some great things from Intellivision Revolution, or maybe any of the other releases. Anyway, guys, you take care. We'll see you next time.
See you guys next time.
Intellivision, I cannot stand it. This indecision.
Hey, it's Paul Nerman or Nermix from the Intellivisionaries podcast, and you're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer.
Intellivision.